Welcome to the Scoutcast. I am your host, Ray Hoffman, and today this is kind of an impromptu podcast. I actually had this thought after having a conversation with a customer, a potential customer, I should say, and just kind of wondering where everybody's thoughts are and what everybody thinks is going on in the world today. So I was having this conversation, and he said he hired a great marketing graphic designer. He said, we've got some new materials out, they look great. They've been out for a couple of months now. I said, great. What are they giving you? He said, oh, they're giving us a much better look, they're giving us this, they're giving us that. Okay, so what are they giving you sales wise? What are they giving you leads wise? Well, I don't know. Well, if you don't know, then how do you know they're good? It's a crazy thing in the marketing world today. Designers are essential. I'm not knocking designers at all. I think designers are essential to the world. I think designers are great. I think they have a more creative eye than I've ever had in my life. So I'm not doing this as a knock to designers. What I am doing is I want to make sure people understand that having a great design doesn't mean anything if you're not getting leads. So I know a company that prints a publication out a couple times a year. They've never had a lead associated to it, and they're spending thousands of dollars to publish this thing. So I asked them why. Why do you keep doing it? Well, because if you think it's really cool. I said, yeah, I can understand that. Really cool is fun, right? But do you have the money to be really cool? Or do you need every penny to be justified with a lead? Now, we all know the old adage that marketing is kind of like having a dartboard. 50% is right, 50% is wrong. You throw away half the money that you put into marketing because you're not getting anything from it. I agree with that adage. It happens all the time. But is that something you're fighting for? Is that something you really want? Is that something that you should be doing? Is that something you should be budgeting for? When I create budgets for companies, I don't sit there going, well, they're giving me $100,000, $50,000 is going to be wasted, so let's waste it on this. No. I account for every single penny, and I take into account that with my numbers for cost per lead issue. So, if every single penny, say your cost per lead issued is $50, if every single penny went to good leads, and you got sales off every single one of them, then your cost per lead would actually be less than that, right? So you'd be at $25. You would actually be getting more leads, not less, for the same amount of money. So what do you want to strive for? Do you want to strive for every penny counting? Or do you want to strive for it's cool, it's good looking, it's nice? There's a lot of philosophy, there's a lot of studying that goes into graphic design, and graphic designers do it great. They learn this stuff in school. They learn why you use the color red. They learn why you can't use certain type. They learn all this stuff, which is great. And their wealth of knowledge is phenomenal. However, what is your customer actually paying attention to? Do they care? I trust that they don't. I sit here wondering all the time when I'm creating something, is this really going to resonate for who I'm going for? And what's it going to say? What does it say about me? Does it say about my company? Does it say my company's cool? Well, does my customer care that it's cool? Does my customer care that my company's cool? Do they care that I'm cool? Or do they care to be spending money to make sure they get results? I'd argue the second one. I think people pay me to get results, not because it's cool. And my hope is I deliver that. But I do that by paying attention to the numbers. I can have the best flyer in the world. It can win awards left and right. When I first started in marketing, I was worried about awards. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get this award, I need to get this award, I need to get this award. And it's all about, a great campaign, a great this, a great that. As a marketer, and being somebody that's judged campaigns, judged these types of awards, first thing I ask is, what did it get you? It can be really cool, but what did it do? You can have the coolest website in the world, and I've seen some really cool ones. But did it increase leads? Did it increase views? Did it increase your numbers? Did it increase your bottom line? I've seen some really cool websites out there that are really cool that I would sit there thinking in the back of my head, man, this thing's got to get a lot of leads. And I talked to a marketing person just to inquire about how it is. Nope, they're actually down 20%. They're down 30%. So what do you have to do? You have to redo the website again to match who is actually going on the website. So I've argued this for years. I'm going to keep arguing it for years to come. Numbers are what's important. Your numbers about what you change and what you do is important. It's very important you pay attention to every single number with every single thing. It's very important you do A/B testing. It's very important that you do surveying. You talk to people. Not just put down things that you think are cool. Put out things that are cool for your employees, for your company growth, for your company itself, for your bottom line. That's what's cool. What's cool is that you can, as a small business, sit there and say, I did this, it got me this, and now my employees are getting a raise. I put out a ad one time, and early in your career you make a lot of mistakes. That's where I've gotten where I am. You make a lot of mistakes, and you sit there going, man, why did I do that? There's a couple of them that I still think today, that I sit there going, why did I do that? And there was one that actually dropped our leads by almost 40%. And I was dead set against changing. I'm like, I'm not going through that process again. It was horrible. It took forever. It was a lot of work. And I said, I'm going to stick with it. And I stuck with it for about 9 months. After about 90 days, you should be able to start seeing some kind of difference. In the positive, not the negative. Because why did you do the work if you're just going to get less? I stuck with it for 9 months. It cost my company 28% of leads. It cost the company about that bottom line. We spent more on marketing and got less cost per lead than ever before. Now, this was early on in my career. So, that was a major learning lesson for me. And I have paid attention to numbers ever since. I created this one website that I thought was going to be really cool. It was very, had a lot of pages, very accurate, a lot of, telling people, not educating people, telling people. And after 3 months, our leads weren't going up. I wasn't getting anything more. As a matter of fact, our search engine rankings went down. So after 3 months of spending, it was probably about $10,000, $12,000, I looked at my budget, looked at the numbers and said, I have to rearrange my budget. I have to redo this website. I'm missing something. So, because I'm not a graphic designer, I went to another company and said, hey, what are you thinking? What do you think we should do? First thing they just said is, let's do a survey of your customers. Find out what they want. Let's do a survey of not customers. Let's get some data points to create a website that will convert. So we did that. We redid the website. Spent another I think they only charged me like half, so it was like another 6 or 7 grand at the time. We changed the website. We constantly did SEO changes. We did changes to wording. We did a lot of different things, a lot of different changes. We changed pictures because the pictures weren't resonating. There's actually sites you can go on and find out the hotspots of your website. We looked at stuff like that. And we designed a website within a couple of months, because most of it was already designed. We got it redone in, I want to say it's 2 months, and about half the price. And all of a sudden, our leads went up 22%. Then the website started converting even higher, up over 30%, 40%. I think it plateaued before I left there about 48%. So, and all I had to do was take that time at the front end, do an A/B test. Instead of saying, oh, well, this is really cool, and what's in my head is really cool, and this is going to convert, I actually tested it and figured it out. So, that was my lesson. Every website since, I do things like surveys. I do things like talk to customers. I do things like do research on the industry and where things are going. I converse with companies in that industry that are getting a lot of leads, that are doing a lot of business. So, hope this all helps. I just wanted to come on here because I thought it was a fascinating conversation. If you are one that is sitting there saying, you know, I did this and I have no clue what's getting you, you should definitely reach out. You can find me on scoutconsultingwi.com, or you can visit me on Facebook at Scout Consulting LLC. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day. Happy Holy Friday, and have a great Easter, and enjoy your family this weekend. And we will talk to you next week. Thank you. Bye.